Ask Yuri. You've got a health and fitness question? I've got an answer.
This is going to be a good one today. So Martha, one of my long-standing followers and clients, hey Martha, thank you so much, is asking me a question about cardiac output training. I'm not too sure if she just means cardio training, but she essentially, I think she's saying the thinking or the recommendation is about 125 to 150 beats per minute for 60 to 90 minutes. That's what the recommendation is. And oh, this is gonna be fun. So I love this. I love this stuff. I love exercise physiology. So I'm gonna give you some insight here. Okay, so if you go to your doctor and your doctor says you need to get some exercise, you need to get your heart healthy, you got to start doing some cardio. Okay, so what is cardio? Cardio is basically anything that gets your cardiovascular system moving. And most people confuse that with going on the cardio machine and doing an hour or an hour and a half of ridiculous waste of time cardio where they're on the elliptical or they're watching TV. I was at the gym the other day and I see this lady, she's got 2 TVs going, okay? And she's walking on the treadmill, watching 2 TVs. On either side of this overweight lady, I should say, on the treadmill, there was myself and another girl. This other girl was doing some intervals. I was burning up a sweat, dripping from head to toe, working on intervals for about 15 minutes. Meanwhile, this lady in the middle is watching like Ellen or something else between these 2 TVs. And I'm just like, it's so infuriating and frustrating to see people waste their time doing this ridiculous nonsense. So 125 BPMs, beats per minute. For me, that is essentially a very, very light jog. What is it for you? Well, if you take just a very simple equation, if you do 220 minus your age, okay? 220 minus your age is your maximum heart rate. So I'm 33. If I do 220 minus 33, I get 187, I think, if I've done my math properly. I know I've gone through sessions where my heart rate is higher than 187. But most cardiologists would say that you're crazy, you're gonna explode your heart. Well, even with people, obviously if you've got a heart condition, if you just had a heart transplant or a heart attack, you obviously want to take it easy and work your way up. But if you're relatively healthy, I think a lot of people are scared to push themselves to the higher limit of their cardiac zone, of what their heart can do. So here's the problem. If I'm 180, let's just say I'm 190. So my maximum heart rate is 190, which means that's the number of beats my heart can beat in a minute. If that's the maximum, then usually if you go to the cardio machines, they'll say, okay, your cardio zone is like 70 to 80%, your fat burning zone is like 50, 60% of that, okay, of your max heart rate. So what's happening is we've conditioned society to believing that low intensity cardio, where I can essentially record this video if I were on a treadmill or an elliptical at this moment, is what's gonna help you burn fat. Whereas slightly higher intensity cardio, where you start to huff and puff a little bit, is necessary for cardiovascular improvements. Here's the thing, okay? If you want to burn fat or if you want to improve your cardio, the approach is pretty much the same. Sure, you can spend hours a day at a very low intensity. You can do that. That's all, by all means. If you've got nothing else to do, go for it. If you want to wear your body down, go for it. If you're a little bit more pressed for time, if you want to get better results in about a third of the time, you have to be using interval training, which is essentially high and low bouts of intensity. So a sprint jog type of idea. And you don't have to go for very long. You can do a 10 to 20 minute session and you will be exhausted if you do it properly. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna burn maybe not necessarily 1,000 calories during that time, but what it does is it spares your lean muscle because it increases growth hormone, which is great because low intensity cardio depresses growth hormone and testosterone, so you actually lose muscle. So if you want to maintain your muscle, which you should be doing higher intensity stuff. The second thing is the more time you spend closer to your maximum possible heart rate, the fitter you will become cardiovascularly, and the more fat you will burn afterwards because you rev up your metabolism to stay elevated for a long time after your workout. It's known as the afterburn, or scientifically post-exercise oxygen consumption, okay? Now, with respect to heart health, again, I tell this to everyone, especially middle-aged women and men who think, they're scared to push themselves. I used to have clients, a lot of my clients who were in their 60s, and I would push them. I'd get them on a treadmill, high incline, we get walking, throw a knapsack on, they'd be dripping sweat. and they'd previously gone to their cardiologist and done some kind of stuff. And this is stuff that most cardiologists would not necessarily recommend. I don't from my experience, but in terms of improving performance, which basically means improving day-to-day function, you need to spend more time near your maximum heart rate, because if you don't, then you're only conditioning your body to work at a low intensity. So anytime you have to walk up a flight of stairs, or maybe run down the street for whatever reason, or walk up a hill, you're out of breath. Okay, so you need to spend more time at a higher percentage of your maximum possible heart rate, and the best way to do that is by doing these bouts of up and low, up and low, up and low. Okay. I've put a ton of videos together on YouTube for the specific topic about interval training and working your system cardiovascularly. Believe me, I played professional soccer. I've been through all this stuff. I've worked for 7 years as a strength coach at one of the top universities in the world. I've seen this time and time and time and time again. You just follow these principles, and you will get incredible results. And to help you do that, we have an entire series of workouts to help you do that. It's called the Treadmill Trainer. You can go to mytreadmilltrainer.com, and they're all there, from beginner to marathon runners and everywhere in between. If you want to burn fat, if you want to run faster, if you want to whatever it is you want, these workouts are my voice on your headphones, coaching you step by step through these intervals. It's amazing. So you can use them on the treadmill, you can use them outdoors. It's awesome. Check it out, mytreadmilltrainer.com. The best workouts, as far as I'm concerned, with respect to interval training, hands down. Nothing else even comes close. If you find anything else, let me know. I'd be very surprised. Anyways, enough of blowing my own horn. Check it out. Martha, hopefully that answers your question. You basically need to spend more time at a higher intensity, lower duration. It's going to save your body, and it's going to save you a lot of time. All right? Thanks again for the question, and we'll see you in the next video.